On this edition of the Left Bench TV, we sit down with one of the stars of Maryland wrestling.
A look at how one Maryland team is making a deep run into the postseason.
And a look into Maryland's basketball team's winning streaks. The Left Bench TV starts now.
One fall sports team is still going strong as we approach December, and it is a huge week for all winter sports teams. Welcome to the Left Bench TV. I'm Annabelle Janssens.
And I'm Noah Gross. Yeah, Annabelle, it's a huge week for winter sports here at the University of Maryland. We have reporters live all around campus for all the latest on everything going on here in College Park. But where else would we start other than football? After a chaotic and headline-grabbing and emotional roller coaster type of season, the Maryland football team, they can finally rest. Tyrell Pigram and company just finished their 2018 year against Penn State in Happy Valley with a blowout loss. Daniel Oyefusi, who has been covering this team all year long, has a recap of a season that nobody around this program will soon forget.
The Maryland football team season wrapped up on Saturday in a 38-3 defeat at Penn State. The loss finishes the Terrapins season with a 4-game losing streak and a 5-7 record, just one game short of bowl eligibility in one of the most unforgettable seasons in Maryland history. The season was clouded by controversy following the death of 19-year-old offensive lineman Jordan McNair, who died from heat stroke after collapsing at an off-season workout in May. 2 ESPN reports were soon published, one which alleged a toxic culture under head football coach DJ Durkin. Durkin and 2 members of the training staff were placed on paid administrative leave, and the university launched 2 investigations into the program.
The university accepts legal and moral responsibility for the mistakes that our training staff made on that fateful workout day.
Still, a football season had to be played. The team dedicated the season to McNair and opened with an emotional upset over a ranked Texas opponent for the second straight season. While the Terps got off to a 5-3 start, more distractions crept in. Following a months-long investigation, the university's Board of Regents recommended to keep Durkin, and he was reinstated to the team, only to be fired 1 day later by University President Wallace Lowe. There was outcry both inside and outside the university, from students, fans, and even politicians over the Board of Regents' handling of the situation. With 4 games remaining, the team had 4 cracks at postseason play. A 24-3 blowout loss to Michigan State was followed by 2 defeats by a combined margin of 3 points, first at Indiana, then a crushing defeat against Ohio State on Senior Day. And lastly, Saturday's season-ending loss to the Nittany Lions.
We say it all the time, 6 inches will make you a star. And that game was 6 inches away.
The main question for the Terrapins going forward is who will lead the team as its next head coach. Will it be offensive coordinator Matt Canada, who served the entire season as interim coach, or will it be an outside name? Despite the failure to reach a bowl game, it was a valiant effort by the Terrapins as they held true to honor their fallen teammate and never forget the name Jordan McNair.
And as the focus shifts away from the football program, one fall sports team is still going strong after a miraculous run.
Yeah, Noah, the men's soccer team had a difficult season, but they really turned it around for postseason play. The Terps defeated NC State last Sunday here in College Park, winning 2-0. On Saturday, they traveled to Durham, North Carolina, where they upset the 6th-seeded Duke Blue Devils by the same score. Our Nolan Gelbard met with the men's soccer reporter Hannah Fields for the latest on the playoff push from Sasha Surofsky's club.
Thanks, Annabelle. And Hannah, the Terrapins are moving on to the Elite 8. What were some keys to their game against Duke that helped them upset the 6th-seeded Blue Devils?
They really relied on their defense as they have all season. Duke had 16 shots, 8 of which were in the last 30 minutes, but junior center back Donovan Pines never really let any clear shots on St. Clair in goal. And the defense really gave the offense the opportunities, and they were really efficient when they had those chances, scoring 2 times on their 5 shots on goal.
And the offensive efficiency at the start of the year for Maryland was not too great, but what really impressed you so far this year for the Terps to come back this way?
I think it's their ability to overcome adversity. They had many injuries in key positions this season, a relatively young team, and so mid-season they made a lot of formation changes. Head coach Sasha Surofsky put 2 defensive midfielders in the back to help the defense. And I think that's allowed the offense to open up and give the team more confidence on offense.
And Maryland has another tough matchup on Friday. They're facing off against the third-seeded Kentucky Wildcats. What can they do to help pull off another upset for the Terrapins?
It's going to be tough. Kentucky's undefeated at home this season, but if they can get the first goal of the game and set the tone of the game, it would allow them to be comfortable, and the defense would be able to get their third shot out of the tournament.
Thank you. For Hannah Fields, I'm Nolan Gelbart. Back to you guys at the desk.
The Terps will travel to Lexington, Kentucky on Friday night for the quarterfinal matchup against the third-seeded Wildcats, another chance to get closer to the College Cup.
The field hockey team, after taking home another Big Ten title this year, they ran through their first two opponents in the NCAA tournament, and they made it to the Final Four in Louisville for the second straight year. Our Zach Sohan is at the field hockey and lacrosse complex with how the team fared and a look at what comes next.
The Maryland field hockey team made it to the national championship game for the second year in a row, but just like last year, lost in the national championship game, this time falling to North Carolina 2-0. Now, Maryland has a lot to look forward to, but they are losing goalie Sarah Holliday and Big Ten Player of the Year Linnea Gonzalez. And despite all their success this season, going 22-3 and winning the Big Ten tournament, they do have to rely on the rest of their team to pave the path for the future. Bodil Kos was named Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and freshman Bibi Donrat was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Missy Mahar will rely on her incoming freshman class and also her current players to create more success for one of Maryland's top athletic programs in Division I.
While the field hockey team just had their season come to an end, one Maryland team was hoping to have theirs start this week. Maryland volleyball players, staff, and fans were on the edge of their seats Sunday night as it was the NCAA tournament selection show, and the Terps, well, they were reportedly on the bubble of making the tournament. And apparently they were just outside the bubble as they ended up just missing the tournament for the second straight year. Maryland finished their season going 1-3 over the last 2 weeks, but they had some very tough competition. It was the first year for head coach Adam Hughes, and Hughes did exceed expectations in year one, taking over for Steve Aird. And Hughes did take to Twitter after it was announced the team did not make the tournament, expressing his disappointment, but did say that the team will be back.
The men's and women's basketball teams are off to quite a strong start, both undefeated so far. Our Morgan Weaver is at the Xfinity Center to give us a glimpse of both teams' recent successes and which players have been standing out on the court.
Yeah, that's right, Annabelle. Both of Maryland's basketball teams look to remain undefeated at 6-0, continuing this week in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. The women's team is currently ranked number 7 after impressive wins, including a victory against South Carolina earlier this month on the road. The team is now coming off a 2-0 Thanksgiving weekend in Puerto Rico, defeating Morgan State and winning a tight defensive battle against Georgia, 58-51. Continuing to lead the team is junior guard Kyla Charles, averaging 14.5 points, 7.3 rebounds per game, and tallying 17 assists so far this season. Equally as impressive, in recently ranking at number 24, the men's team has seen little competition so far this season, with their most recent win by an overwhelming margin of 104-67 over Marshall. Their undefeated record seems to be a collective effort, with the 5 Terps averaging in double digits. Bruno Fernando's dominance continues to progress. Anthony Cowan continues to do what Anthony Cowan does, totaling 22 assists so far this season, and the freshman class's impact is becoming even more evident as the season advances. The men's first real test of the season comes Wednesday here at the Xfinity Center against number 4 Virginia. The women then host Georgia Tech Thursday. For the Left Bench TV, I'm Morgan Weaver.
The basketball teams will look to carry the momentum from their hot starts into these next matchups. Both teams will continue to find success out of conference before they begin Big Ten play.
And the other squad in the Xfinity Center Pavilion, the wrestling team, they just started their season earlier this month with the Wolfpack Open at NC State. Kerry McCoy's group is poised to make some serious noise in the Big Ten this year, a conference where they have struggled mightily in the past. Our Danielle Stein sat down with one of the stars of the team for a new segment, Alfred Bannister, to get to know him and preview the season.
How are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. So we're going to get to know you and try to learn a little bit more about you.
I'm a captain of my team. I like to be a leader in the community and in my family. I come from a family of 7. I've been wrestling my whole life.
I heard that you have quite a nickname.
Oh, yeah. My parents nicknamed me Baby J when I was little, and that's been my name ever since.
What's the meaning behind that one?
So my dad is, my real name's Alfred Bannister. I'm the 3rd. My dad is Alfred Jr., so he goes by AJ. So he wasn't going to share his name with me, so he calls me Baby J.
You're going into your redshirt senior season,
Yes.
Last one. Tell me a little bit about your time at Maryland so far. What have been your favorite memories on the mat?
My favorite memories is probably my first match ever here. I won in dramatic fashion in overtime, and it was just a great experience for me.
We're going to burden you just with some rapid fire questions really quick. All right, ready? Favorite pump-up music?
DMX.
What is the food you crave after you compete?
Fruit snacks.
Interesting. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Squeaky shoes.
Favorite Thanksgiving food?
Pumpkin pie.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
What? Do you have any tattoos? What would you have if you had one?
Big lion on my chest.
If you could play another sport at Maryland, what would it be?
Basketball.
Best concert you've ever been to?
Kodak Black.
Yay or nay to Old Bay?
Yeah.
And finally, favorite meme or Vine?
Wow. Meme or Vine? Taking me back. My favorite meme is probably the Nick Young meme, where he's like, what?
The confused one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's great to learn more about you, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you for having me. It was a great opportunity.
Awesome. Back to you guys at the desk.
It's always great to know some Terps a bit better. And now we highlight another player who is our Terp of the Week. He has been an unstoppable force on the men's soccer team, Amar Sejdic. The midfielder scored in Maryland's NCAA tournament games against Duke and NC State. The goal against the Blue Devils secured a third-round victory, and the Terps advanced to the national quarterfinals. Sejdic leads the team in goals with 7 on the season. This senior is certainly going out with a bang.
But he is really making a huge impact for the Terps right now. But a former Terp, I should say, making an impact in the pros. How about DJ Moore? He's been outstanding for Cam Newton and company down there in Carolina. The former Terp making his presence felt in the NFL playoff race. Moore is quickly becoming Cam Newton's favorite target as he has racked up 248 yards over the past 2 games for the Carolina Panthers, making everyone back here in College Park very proud.
DJ Moore is a big name, but I'm excited to hear about a lesser-known athlete.
There's a ton of athletes around campus, Annabelle, that maybe don't get the publicity that some of these major sport athletes do. And our Joe Alardi sat down with one Maryland student who was pumping iron to get closer to his dreams.
Victor Eichenwald can lift more than your average football player, but on Saturdays, you won't find him on the field. You'll find him in the gym.
Basically, this is all I do on weekends. This is all I do on weekdays, besides go to class. My college experience is barbell club, basically.
Victor started lifting in high school to get stronger. Now, he has his sights set on powerlifting collegiate nationals, where lifters are tested on the squat, bench press, and the deadlift.
If I can top 10, I'd be happy.
His coach and friend Jay Etherton isn't surprised at all.
But he's always been very talented. He is kind of built for it. He's just naturally strong.
Win or lose in February, Victor isn't going to stop lifting anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, even if I stop competing in powerlifting, I don't think I'll ever stop working out.
For the Left Bench TV, I'm Joe Alardi.
I'm very impressed by his dedication, Noah. I mean, weekdays and weekends.
Yeah, I mean, I try to go to the gym, but I mean, that was very impressive. He goes pretty much every day. He said barbell club is his life. So I hope in one of our next few shows we can update our audience and see how far he got and if he actually met his goals. But for this edition of the Left Bench TV, that's all we have. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The Left Bench.
And be sure to visit our website for all your Maryland sports news. For Noah Gross and our entire Left Bench crew in College Park, I'm Annabelle Janssens. Thanks for watching.